Okay, well, welcome to my little video talking about Philza, well, the character on the Dream SMP version of Philza, because I've been watching a lot of streams lately, and I'm bored, and I thought maybe a commentary video would be something to do instead of just putting lo-fi music over my speed paints, so I'm just gonna do this instead. These videos aren't really organized yet, so I literally just made like a bullet pointed list, and so I'm just gonna talk about a few topics that I thought would be like key points in the Dream SMP characters of Philza as we know it now. And yeah, so I'm just gonna start off with the first bullet. You decipher my thoughts on this first bullet though. I just put thoughts on the forest. You can tell I wrote this at 2 a.m. So I don't watch much lore videos on the Dream SMP. I don't really do deep analysis. I just take it at face value so I can enjoy it for myself. But from what I understand, Phil has found some lady, and some lady has gifted him a whole forest outside of Techno's and his base. And super sketch at first, and everybody's just like, it's Mumza," and so we just freak out in chat. So yeah, so my thoughts on the forest are basically, this is gonna be great if we actually get Mumza in the Dream SMP, because then we can have just the ultimate chaotic force of nature, and then all the crows can always get what they want, and they get more crumbs. And this is just the greatest thing ever. If, Lady Death decides to bless us. And yeah, joins the Dream SMP. So I thought that would be a really cool thing if that's where the direction is going. Another direction is we probably just don't know who she is, because if we think about actual like Philza hardcore lore, which is the weirdest thing to say when you think about it. Like his hardcore series does have like a little bit of lore. There are some she's in there, like the Blaze Empress. So maybe she could be like like the Blaze Empress giving him like a gift of a forest for some reason, being like, oh yeah, I totally have. I just have the free time to just make you a forest, even though I'm made of fire and shit. So that could be something that he's doing, and that could be like a point where it could go. That's just my own thoughts on it, but maybe like somebody who's better at analysis of this series could was probably like, oh yeah, there's probably the Blaze Empress. It doesn't have to just be or some other figure. I'm not that caught up on hardcore lore either, but they could probably be like, oh yeah, it's probably some other person from other Phil's lore, from other this that's gonna be the person who gave the forest. But yeah, those are my thoughts on like the forest, like it being a gift for Phil's on this server. And I wonder what he's gonna do with it, because he's always talking about how he's not that good at lore, and that always tears me up inside how he thinks he's not doing a great job. But it's like he made it, like he put this plot point out there, probably like Wilbur helped him with it, so it's just like I wonder what he's gonna do with it, and it's probably gonna be really cool and probably really really angsty, because he's figured out that the crows live off angst, and I'm scared. But that's another time, another time. So my next bullet point was, it literally just says hundreds, not thousands, and I need to decipher this. And I think it's talking about when Philza was talking about how he was like his character is canonically immortal, and how he's lived for like hundreds of years, even though like the fandom has been like, oh yeah, he's been around since the dawn of time, the Crow Man, the father of all. He started the revolution, and we're like, and that's what we, we says stupid shit like that. But yeah, so thoughts on like the immortal, like the canonically immortal Phil's the character. Personally, think it's great because it's just the funniest shit. Because then we can make fun of Phil for being old, and he's allowed us this canonically. We can canonically call him an old man, and it makes sense. And then we can bully him, and then it's great. So yeah, immortal Phil's great. And then it also has that whole dynamic of maybe Techno Blade is also immortal, or maybe because we've already decided, like, canonically, sadly, Techno is not his son, and we have to deal with that. And then, but they are still bestie buddies, and that's just the sweetest, most wholesome thing out of this entire angsty, like hodgepodge of a series or whatever it is, that they get to be bestie buddies. but we don't really know if Techno is like immortal, actually a blood god, maybe just a piglin who goes a little stir crazy when he doesn't get blood for a little while. It's just we don't really know exactly what it is. But that's a different video. So yeah, it's nice to think, oh yeah, he's been alone for so long, and he's got this lifelong friend, and then he fucks up time sometimes, and he doesn't know that, oh yeah, I'm supposed to be able to just remember that months and minutes aren't the same thing. Yeah, that's great. Okay. Yeah, so to summarize, I like that we get to make fun of Phil for being old, and that he has been around so long that he can't figure out time anymore, and that we can make fun of him for it, and then we can all have fun. That's just my thoughts on that whole equation there. So my next point, I need to get better at making. I either need to get better at making scripts or I need to get better at making bullet points because these are getting ridiculous. So my next point literally says "Goddess go burr." So I think this is going back to my previous point about like Mumza being put into the Dream SMP and my thoughts on that. So thoughts on having Kristen on the Dream SMP. From the Go Burr, I assume I was happy about it, and even now as I read it, I'm ecstatic about it. Cause it's just funny. Cause like Phil himself is the ultimate beacon of chaos, and then he gets mixed up with the other three children, and then they all just go off. But with Mom there, then they have to be even more insane, cause then nobody can curb them. Cause Phil he tries to curb them sometimes, like stop, and he can't, and it's fun. But then he starts to just join in when he realizes it's basically impossible, like virtually impossible for him to heal both Wilbur and Tommy going off by themselves, and then Techno just adding bursts of chaos that just spike them from a good 80 to 120. So then he just starts to join. So then once Phil gets out of that whole mentality and then Kristen joins in, then it literally changes from, oh yeah, maybe they might chill out because Phil's there, to, yeah, Phil's not gonna stop because he has too many people hyping him up. And then Kristen's just gonna be like, and I brought a lighter, and it's gonna be great. So, yeah. But if I think about the lore aspect of it, because I am supposed to be talking about like the characters and Dream SMP wise, then I feel like that dynamic would be a little like a cool thing to see. Because again, like Phil doesn't do like he doesn't feel like he does lore that well. But I feel like if he puts himself in a situation where he does have to practice lore, then I feel like he'll have more chances to gain confidence with it, and it's gonna be great. It's like suddenly all the cars in my neighborhood started to just rev up at the same time, as if I didn't have anything to do right now. Well, technically I don't, but still. But yeah, so goddess and angel of death dynamic that would go forward if goddess go burr on Dream SMP. I feel like it would be really cool because then it's like Phil's already basically father of all on the server, and he's been betrayed so many a time by Lemamberg and everything, and then disappointed by Wilbur because all the stuff that fell through with him, and then the only person who hasn't betrayed him and vice versa is Technoblade, but even then still their dynamic is mostly, oh yeah, I'm just gonna leave for a few months. Well, by Phil's understanding of it at the time, he was like, I'm just gonna leave for a few months and go to a prison and collect information. You live by yourself, Phil. So the only person he's ever been left with is himself, Rambo, and his thoughts. And then, but if there's the whole dynamic of, oh yeah, he has a goddess, he has this whole paladin mentality, or maybe I'm putting D&D into this right now, but if he has this whole paladin or cleric mentality of, oh yes, my god is with me at all times, therefore I am mega powerful no matter what. And it's we get to see that cool mentality about it as well. How do you feel about the little goddess of death being by your side at all times, and you're just vibing out in your cottagecore tundra house. Weirdest phrase I've said today. Maybe it's tundra cottagecore house. Cottage house core tundra. Tundra house cottage core house. Core house tundra house. Okay. So, but yeah, he's just vibing out in there. And then, but even then, it's just like death is over your shoulder, but it's not aimed at you. Like, wait, I said it like that. Death is over your shoulder, but it's not aimed at you. It's literally call an ambulance, but it's not for me. So, yeah, their relationship grows and how Phil's relationships are like can be affected by his wife literally being the goddess of death, or how his relationship like would grow with with Kristen being like goddess of death, or like based off his other relationships, or like how like his other relationships could suffer or grow. And it's just I like those fanfics, so I want to see what they could do with it. It's probably going to be like something simple, but at least it would prompt more of those fanfics because I personally don't like the hurt no comfort tag, yet it plagues everything that I read. I like the wholesome family ones, and I also like when they're like in Minecraft because then they have cool little plot points to it. But you know, I like the IRL ones, and then I like the ones in Minecraft, and I like when they're wholesome, happy, and they just have the comfort tag, soft tag, fluffy tag. I like those tags. I like them a lot, especially when they have Phil in them, and then when they have Technoblade in them, and then when they have Wilbur and Tommy, and they have a little family, and then Kristen gets added in there. It's spicy. It's great. It's just great. Please stop making angst. I just like I need you guys to drink some water or some shit because I can't take much more of it. My friend has already fallen to the dark side. They've just they wake up every 3 days, every so often, and just send me a link to like hell, and it's just dark there. It's not even hot. It's just dark. People say hell is hot, and Wilbur said the devil is supposed to be attractive, but the links they send me, they just send me somewhere just tragic, and I read them because I like to support my friends. But one of these days, man, I'm just gonna go back to sleep and not look at them. Because why? Why? A bit of a tangent there. Moral of the story. I want to see what I'm looking forward to what that dynamic would look like, how they would build that dynamic of like Goddess of Death and Philza, like Angel of Death in the Dream SMP. And I really want to see how that could affect everybody else as well, like all the other characters. Literally the Goddess of Death becomes canon on a server where the canon is everybody has 3 lives. And one kid is just decided to make himself a necromancer because, you know, plot. So I definitely want to see that dynamic if Kristen starts joining in on the whole role playing as well. I want to see what she would do there. Why the fuck are you reviving folk? Why'd you revive my son just to kill him? Why did you do it? And then another war can start. Oh, that'd be so much fun. Oh, literal gods are being thrown into the war. Creative mode. They give Kristen creative mode on her own account, and then DreamXD logs in, and it's just DreamXD versus Kristen. Oh, that'd be great. Kristen should be on Manhunts. That'd be petition to put Kristen in Manhunts. That'd be my favorite thing ever. Just just her going on like, oh, dream. She probably just falls down like a ravine, finds a bunch of diamonds, because why not? I would watch that. I would just watch that if it was just Dream versus Kristen in a manhunt. They're just simple things. The simple things in life, they're just fun. But so yeah, that's my whole thought. I hope they have more wars, because the wars are good. And I'm also trying to start doing more animatics, and I'm working on one right now, like a simple one, to just test out my animation equipment. Because, like, I don't know. I did like that Among Us. I did that Among Us, like animation animatic thing. And because I was just practicing. But then I stopped like doing little animations for a while, and then I just forgot how to animate. It was the strangest thing that happened to me. I just forgot how to animate all of a sudden. So I have to massage these animating muscles and remember how to do it. Because I don't know, like when it comes to pieces like this, I can just sit down for hours, like staring into the abyss of my screen, and just something relatively nice will pop out, and I'll be like, I am content with this. Like that's literally what Inktober has been for me, like so far. I just stare into the abyss, I look up, and I have some stuff on my screen. It looks cool, so I submit it. You know? So I'm gonna try. So I hope they do more wars, is what I was talking about before, so that I can start practicing putting audio to my animatics, so that it looks cool. I just have to remember that I can just put, like, I don't have to, I can make a storyboard and that can work as well. I don't have to just make everything move, because I think that's what's tripping me up, trying to like match the audio to the animation, because that's what I'm used to doing when it comes to animating. So yeah, I want to make more animatics of Dream SMP content. I also just I want to make more Philza art because that's just fun to do. I'm working on right now because if you can tell, I do read fanfic sometime, and I found a really angsty one. I think you've all heard of, if I can remember correctly, Tommy in its reliable way of avoiding sudden death, or whatever that one was called, like that one, that one that all of you cried at, that vigilante fic that started at, like, I don't think it started, but it definitely boosted that whole trend of Tommy in it vigilante fics. So yeah, I'm gonna be doing an animatic about that one hopefully, and in the future I hope to be doing something like that. And I'm just at this point I'm just finding like Vocaloid songs that are really sad that I used to listen to when I was younger, and I'm just putting Dream SMP on top of it. And yeah, I'm just gonna make all my friends cry because, like I said, they send me this just the saddest, not saddest, but the saddest fanfics, just to get a reaction out of me, to try and to make me cry as if I don't have anything to do, you know? So my goal is to make them cry before they make me cry. So yeah, if I think about it, I can make them cry like faster or at least harder than they make me cry, because I have the power of art on my side and they don't. So something like that. Well, anyway, yeah, that's all I really have to say. Well, yeah, thank you for watching my video. If you got this far, please like and subscribe. It really helps me out. Go to my Instagram because I post more often there than I do anywhere else. And so yeah, if you want to look at more of my art, just go on Instagram. I'm thinking about making a Patreon soon, so look out for that if you want to, give me money. And yeah, thank you for watching. Have a nice day.